the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you would remain standing, I'll ask Jerome to lead us in prayer tonight.
Please make this meeting go really fast and bless everybody here.
Okay, all right, thanks. New business is board discussion on the cannabis law, and I'm going to turn this over to Attorney Murphy.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sure everybody's read in the paper and the other media that cannabis will be legal in the state effective January 1. A lot of the aspects of the law are not part of municipal regulation. For example, the village does not have the ability to make possession of marijuana illegal in the village if it's legal by state law. So the decriminalization is here to stay. The ability for individuals to smoke or otherwise consume cannabis is here to stay. Because the law goes into effect January 1, the village board has to make a decision about whether the board wants to allow or potentially allow the legal sale of marijuana. So the purpose is tonight is to have board discussion, and there's really two options. One is to direct us to prepare what's called an opt-out ordinance, which means an ordinance declaring that marijuana sales or marijuana growing, cannabis growing, is illegal in the village of Dolton. The other alternative would be to give direction to staff to potentially allow the sale of cannabis here in the village effective January 1. And let me just give a little bit of the kind of the glossary. There are places called dispensaries. You may have heard that from the law. A dispensary is nothing other than a retail sales facility for cannabis. You may have heard the term cultivation centers or grow centers. Cultivation center or grow centers are nothing other than the wholesalers. So the cultivation centers would grow the material and they'd wholesale it to the retailer, and the retailers will sell it subject to state and local regulation. I don't believe we have any medical marijuana facilities in Dolton, do we?
No.
So
the nearest one is in Posen.
Those that have the medical marijuana license throughout the state are free to convert the medical to a full sale of cannabis. We would, if there's a new building built or if an abandoned building is devoted to it, the village would only stand to gain its share of the property taxes. On the other hand, for the retail sale of cannabis, the legislature has authorized municipalities to impose up to a 3%